Okay, is everyone ready? We'll begin. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Virginia City Council chambers. This is a regularly scheduled City Council meeting. Call this meeting to order. Today's date is Tuesday, May 13th, 2025. The time is 5:30 p.m. Welcome to all of those who are here in the audience tonight and those who are speaking before the council this evening. I just want to remind everybody that we all try to maintain a professional decorum as we address the issues for you and as you address issues for us. And so we look forward to a discussion and answer any questions that you may have. Pam, would you please take the roll call?
Johnson,
Here.
Motley,
Here.
Paulson,
Present.
Beyondich,
Present.
Bachschnider,
Here.
Friedlieb,
Here.
Cuffey.
Present. Would everyone please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, and please remove your hat and any other thing behind yours. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. Okay, move to item number 4 on the agenda, which is a public forum. This is an opportunity for anybody from the audience who would like to address the council this evening. There's some of you that are scheduled for appearance under one of the items following in the rest of the agenda, but if you have something you'd like to address the council, you're welcome to come forward at this time. Thank you. Please turn that light on to green. Please state your name for the record and welcome to the City Council meeting.
My name is Angie Drake, and I just wanted to bring, this was just brought to my attention about the city trying to pass the ordinance for the downtown businesses so anybody could buy a building on the main street of Virginia and turn it into residential on the main level. And I have some concerns about that. Number one is the parking. If it was a multi-level family that was living in the building, we have a lot of issues with parking now that our clients have to walk, and some of our clients are elderly, and I feel like that would contribute a problem too. That is one of them, and there's a bunch of other concerns that I have too about allowing residents to live on the main street of Virginia because it has been commercial for as long as I know. And I just feel like nothing good would have come of it. And I did go around yesterday and I did talk to business owners and I talked to them and just kind of like express my concerns to them. And I do have some signatures here, if you would like to see, of the business owners who have concerns as well as I do.
Sure, if you have copies, you're welcome to distribute if you like.
Actually, I just have one. I didn't make copies.
You know, if you would mind, when your presentation is completed, if you could provide that copy to our city clerk, and we'll make copies for everybody. Would that be amenable?
Sure.
Okay, please continue.
And I guess that is like our biggest concern. You know, we spent right around $150,000 5 years ago, and we took advantage of Revive Virginia to make the main street beautiful. And we invested a ton of money in a boutique, bringing that to downtown, trying to make it a better place. And I know Cane Lakes is really putting a lot of money into, and a lot of other businesses. And I really want our main street to be like other towns when you go there, how beautiful it is to walk down there, have something to eat, go shopping. And I just feel like by bringing residential on the main level, not the upstairs apartments, but just on the main level and allowing housing, that's gonna take away from what we're trying so hard to do.
Okay, thank you very much. This zoning ordinance, which includes that and many other issues, is coming before the council meeting tonight, and we'll probably have a spirited discussion by that, I'm sure. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. Anyone else that'd like to address the council
Mr.
before?
Mayor, can I address her, please?
One moment, sir. Yes, Councilor Motley.
Andrea, I just want to say thank you for coming to the council and expressing your concerns. I wish more business owners would also step up, and we also appreciate your business in downtown and what you're doing. So, and your concerns are being heard. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Motley. So if you're not scheduled to appear, or we're not going to discuss this later on down the agenda, you're welcome to come forward now and speak before the council meeting. Does anyone else want to speak? Oh, sir, please come forward. Please state your name for the record and welcome to the council meeting.
Thank you. I'm Jared Siebert. I'm here on behalf of Revive Virginia and the annual summer block party that occurs on Chestnut Street. This year, we are partnering with W.A. Fisher and the Laurentian Chamber of Commerce to host the 4th annual summer block party on June 11th, and we are asking permission to use the 100 block of Chestnut between 1st Avenue West to 2nd Avenue West between the hours of 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. This is going to be another community event and a networking event for downtown businesses, where we will asking for permission to get tables, tents and chairs for the public, and also 2 units of staging sections for the musical group, sorry. Also, we would like to request some trash receptacles, and we will be having a live band that's being scheduled. We will be having a food truck there. Plus, we will have tents there and representatives from W.A. Fisher, from Revive Virginia, and from the Chamber of Commerce. Flamers and poppers are also going to be open, selling beverages. There's discussion right now about having them sell outside, but at this point, they will be selling inside. We will be expecting people to be coming out with drinks and enjoying the festivities. So we are asking the city for permission to get tables, chairs, tents, and to block off that block of Chestnut Street for this upcoming event.
Thank you, Mr. Siebert. You were scheduled to appear under item 6.2.
I didn't know, I was here last minute, I wasn't even supposed to be here.
I'm glad you came forward to expedite the process a little bit more. So we're good to
Hello
go.
again.
We're good to go. So under item 6.2, Mr. Jared Siebert has laid out the plan request from Revive Virginia, W.A. Fisher, and the Laurentian Chamber to host the 4th annual summer block party on the 100 block of Chestnut Street, and asking from some in-kind service from the city to accomplish this task.
I will move to approve the request and to support with in-kind services from city resources.
Councilor Johnson moves to approve the request to block off the 100 block of Chestnut Street and for city to provide some amenities moving forward. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Councilor Freelieb. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Siebert.
Thank you.
Okay, moved back up to item number 5, the consent agenda. The following items will be enacted by one motion unless a councilor or a citizen of the City of Virginia requests that the item be considered separately. Item 5.1 is approval on the corrections of the minutes of 5.1A, the regular meeting that was held on April 22nd, 2025, and 5.1B, the special meeting that was held on May 6th, 2025. Item 5.2 is the adoption of Finance Resolution Number 25-009, the schedule of bills. Item 5.3, approve the solicitor's license for Seth Taylor, Sebastian Winchester, Austin Santana, John Husey for door-to-door marketing for the Renewalty Operations LLC, doing business as Mad City Window and Bath LLC. Item 5.4 is approve the transit merchant license for Chad Yost, doing business as Chad's Meat Wagon. Item 5.5 is approve the transient merchant license for Jamie Winger, doing business as the Fry Bread Factory. Item 5.6 is approve the 2025 on sale and Sunday liquor license for the Airhead Incorporated, doing business as the Airhead, contingent upon submission of all the required paperwork. Item 5.7 is approve the following travel requests. Police Department, Matthew Warren, to attend the Law Enforcement Firearms Instructor Course September 7th through the 12th, 2025 in Glenwood, Minnesota, at a cost of $1,485. Item 5.7B, Hunter Levander and Max Olson from the Police Department to attend the Criminal Interdictions Through Traffic Enforcement, August 12th to the 23rd, 2025 in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, at a total cost of $1,028. Item 5.7C, Henry Trunk to attend the Sexual Assault Investigations, August 20th and 21st, 2025 in Grand Rapids at a cost of $800 in overtime. Item 5.8, allow any council or administrative staff to attend the 2025 Coalition of Greater Minnesota Cities Summer Conference, July 10th and 11th, 2025 in Deerwood, Minnesota, and the costs will be varied, and we'll notify about those costs when they come to be. Item 5.9, which is the final item on the consent agenda, is to allow any council or administrative staff to attend the League of Minnesota Cities Annual Conference, June 26th and the 27th, 2025, in Duluth, Minnesota, cost to be forthcoming. Those are the items on the consent agenda today. Looking for council action.
I will move the consent agenda.
Councilor Johnson moves to approve the consent agenda. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Councilor Freely. Is there further discussion? First, Councilor Motley, and then over to Councilor Paulson. Councilor Motley.
Yes, I'd like to pull 5.8 and 5.9.
Okay, Councilor Motley asks to remove item 5.8 and 5.9 for approval, and then we'll, Councilor Paulson.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to pull 5.2 and abstain from the scheduled bills vote.
5.2,
Yes, thank you.
thank you. And Councilor Bachschnider?
It was covered from Counselor Motley. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Well, first, looking for approval of item 5.1, 2, 3, 5.4, 5.5, 5.6, 5.7. We'll hold 5.2, 5.8, and 5.9 in abeyance for further discussion. Is there a motion? All those in favor of approving those items that have not been pulled signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We'll start with item 5.2, the adoption of Finance Resolution Number 25-009, the schedule of bills. Councilor Paulson.
I just need to abstain so someone else can move approval.
So move.
Okay, thank you.
Support.
Moved by Councilor Bachschnider, supported by Councilor Motley to approve item 5.2 is the adoption of Financial Resolution 25009, the schedule of bills. Is there any further discussion? Councilor Paulson.
Thank you, Mayor. I will be abstaining as my daughter is receiving a check and she is a skating coach, figure skating coach.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that disclosure. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Abstain.
One abstain. Thank you. 6 approval, 1 abstention. Thank you. I'll then move to item number 5.8. Allow any council or administrative staff to attend the 2025 Coalition of Greater Minnesota Cities Conference. Summer Conference, July 10th and 11th in Deerwood, Minnesota. Councilor Motley.
My comments pertain to both, so my opinion stands on both 5.8 and 5.9. Whether I have to say it separately or not, I don't think that any counselor or administrative staff of any sort should be going to something that is not required, and that'll save the taxpayers money. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Bachschnider.
Thank you. I have similar concerns if it's not a requirement. I also am curious what and who we're defining as administrative staff, and if we are limiting it so each counselor or administrative staff could only attend one versus both, and what that looks like. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll hold that for additional discussion as we move forward with the other councilors' concerns and comments. Councilor Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. Having camaraderie and going to these meetings allows for us to visit with other folks from other cities, make connections, get ideas, and learn the law changes regularly. These conferences have always been beneficial to everybody in the city, so I'll start with that. The second part is this concern about budgets. Last year, I paid $11,383.54 for my half of city insurance. The rest of the counselors, the minimum they paid was $4,553.42, which is 20% of what the insurance is. And that's just for single coverage. Those who have family coverage get much more benefit for their 20%. Doing the math, I personally paid $6,830.12 to save the city money. If all the counselors had done that last year, they would have saved the city. Then this is minimum, knowing that there is family coverage that costs the city significantly more. They could have saved the city $40,980.74. I think that the $6,830 and change that I paid to save the city money overall more than covers allowing the city staff and city councilors to attend trainings that are valuable to our city and our citizens. Not allowing people to go to trainings stymies and creates a community where people don't move forward. If truly we are that concerned about $400 or $500 for a conference, give or take some mileage, all the meals are included, hotels, then this council should and must raise their personal payments into the insurance to 50% and save the money thousands, tens of thousands of dollars every year. So I think that we should be allowing people, and I will be submitting an individual request because unfortunately I cannot afford to pay for these things on my own. Unfortunately, making a counselor paying for this makes their job unattainable for the general public. It is hard for somebody who wants to be on the city council, who has to give up their job to be here once or twice a week, to be on the council, and we become a body that does not represent everybody in town. So those are my thoughts, and I hope that when it comes to budget time, we can look at cutting $40,000 plus. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Paul Johnson. Councilor Bachschneider, and then we'll have a comment from our city clerk. Councilor Bachschneider.
Thank you. I expressed the same concerns with insurance, which is why, as a new city councilor, I did not elect into the insurance, saving our taxpayers those dollars right away this year. And I still have concern with ascending all council and all administrative staff to both conferences. I think we need to be having a discussion on, are we picking one? What does this cost? Because it's not just $500, it's $500 times 10 people that are going to this. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Bachschneider. Pam?
Thank you, Mayor. So just to respond to your comments, Councilor Bachschneider, administrative staff is all the department heads. Not all of them attend. Britt is usually the one that does go. None of the other department heads have attended. I have not attended the league conference myself, but I hear it's very informative. I will be going on Friday representing the MCFOA group that I'm involved with to serve breakfast for the mayors, et cetera, and attend that and explain what the MCFOA organization is about. I do have to agree with Councilor Johnson. By not attending these, you do not know what is happening, what is changing, to keep up to date on different things and visit with other councilors and mayors and how things work in other cities is very helpful. So not to be able to attend, it does hurt. So you don't really know the things that are happening and changing. So just my comment. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Councilor Bachschneider.
And thank you for that, Pam. That's really helpful to hear. I'm just wondering if do we divide and conquer this then, so we don't all go to the league or we don't all go to the Coalition of Greater Minnesota Cities, and so if we do it, we each pick one and we divide to who goes to what, and then we can report back to the council on what we learned.
Mayor?
Yes, Pam.
So on the league one, I think on both, there's actually first-time attendant rates, which are a lot cheaper than the regular rate. And then the hotel, granted, the league conference is in Duluth this year, so either driving or using a city vehicle, to go back and forth would save hotel cost as well and mileage. And just an FYI, my attendance at the league conference will be covered by the MCFOA organization. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Counselor Paulson?
Thank you, Mayor. Could Britt maybe refresh my memory? Did we budget for any travel expense for the fiscal year of 2025?
We did.
And
For the council directly, is that what you're asking?
yeah, for the council, did we?
We did, and let me look here really fast, if you can bear with me just 1 second. I don't believe we've spent any of it this year either, yet. $2,500.
Total, 2,500 total. Okay, so I think I would feel more comfortable maybe having a conversation, since it says costs may vary. I would like to know specific costs before blanketly approving this. So I would feel more comfortable moving it to a committee of the whole for further information, financial information, as well as understanding how much we did budget and who might go and what we could gain from that going. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Counselor Paulson. So is this your intent to move this, to table this to the next committee of the whole meeting, or is that what your intent is?
I didn't have an intent, but if that's, if that's what, I don't know if that's what people want to do. I would, personally, I would feel more comfortable getting more information. So if you're
Well-
looking for a tabling motion to the next committee of the whole for further information, I'm happy to make that motion.
Yeah, well, the reason I ask is because you wanted to move it for a committee of the whole for additional discussion. In order to do that, we would table it here to move it to the committee of the whole for additional discussion.
Then I'm okay with doing that if,
One other comment.
Ma'am?
Thank you. So basically, I put varies because I don't know who's going. If it's the first time you're attending, are you staying overnight? Do you need mileage? That's why I put varies. So I can't put a definite on it. And if one person goes, and it's their first time and they're going to take a city vehicle, it's going to be a lot less than staying overnight and
Mel, maybe that's something we could discuss at a committee of the whole. So I'll go ahead and table it to the committee of the whole meeting.
Counselor Paulson moves to table
5.8
5.8 and 5.9 to the guest committee of the whole meeting for additional discussion. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Counselor Bachschnider. No discussion on the tabling motion, so all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. Roll call, please, Pam.
Johnson,
No.
Motley,
Yes.
Paulson,
Aye.
Yondich.
Aye.
Bachschnider. Friedlieb.
No.
Huffy.
Aye. Motion to table passes 5-2. Thank you. Okay, moving to item number 6, appearances. Item 6.1, Natalie Petrick, I hope that's pronouncing correctly, to make an appearance regarding essential employees. Please come forward and turn the light on to green for the microphone, please. And please state your name for the record, and welcome to the City Council meeting.
Hi, good evening. My name is Natalie Petrich. Some of you know me, some of you, well, now you do. And I wear a few different hats these days. I work for Essential Health at the Virginia Clinic location. I'm a lead radiology tech. I'm also the local union president at the clinic, except for the RNs. They belong to a different one. I'm here today on behalf of our membership and community to encourage you, the City Council of Virginia, to sell the clinic building to Essentia Health. I want to first address a question that was asked of me a few weeks ago when I was here the last time, is if I'm a taxpayer in this city. And although I don't live here, I do live in Hibbing, I am a taxpayer. I don't own property here, but a taxpayer is not just a property owner. However, I do pay taxes here almost daily as someone who works here 5 days a week. I purchase gas, groceries, I go to restaurants, I entertain friends and family here, and I spend thousands of dollars on goods and services here every single year. I do love to shop here. Like thousands of others in the Northland and communities that surround Virginia, I contribute to Virginia's economy as well, and my coworkers and the patients that come here to receive health care and services at Essentia do too. Traveling from International Falls, Cook, Tower, Little Fork, Hibbing, Grand Rapids, and even Superior and many other cities in the Northland to see some of Essentia's finest specialists. When they are done at our clinic, they go out to eat, they go shopping, and support the economy of this city. To remove these taxpayers from the city would only hurt the city and many of the surrounding communities. In addition, there are some contractions in the economy that we cannot control. As we all know, Menorca is down to a skeleton crew for a minimum of 1 year, which has a significant impact on this community and those that may have a little extra money to spend in town. Other local businesses are also cutting hours like Superior Rock Bit and Tufco, along with other mining-related businesses that cannot sustain the high-level production they maintained when the mines were operating at full capacity. More than ever, Virginia needs businesses to invest in Virginia, including businesses such as Essentia. Throughout my career, I've worked for a number of companies, and I've seen firsthand that few other organizations have invested so much in their employees and the communities in which they partner, as Essentia has and continues to do. For the first time in my career, Essentia Health was the only one that provided me with a balance in my work and home life. In a sense, they saved my life. By doing so, it has afforded me time to reconnect with family and mend fences and volunteer in areas that are important to me. It has afforded me purpose. Essentia has made positive impacts for others too, donating thousands of dollars to charitable events, sports teams, and local projects and committees every year. While some of us may have a sour taste in our mouth when it comes to corporate health care, we also don't see the city contemplating a return to city-run service either, and we feel it is vital to maintain the quality of care Essentia offers to its employees and its patients here in Virginia. We have the specialists and the cutting-edge technology that we all need and depend on, and their continued investment in Virginia through the sale of this clinic will ensure Virginians, as well as residents from the Quad Cities and beyond, won't have to go to Duluth or farther to receive quality care. Not only is this what our communities want and need, this security remains vital for your constituents too. I came here tonight to give voice to my coworkers and union family. I have already given my opinions and thoughts in the same manner to Essentia Health, and I felt it was the right thing to do to bring it forth to you guys as well. Many of the people that work at the clinic are Virginia residents, and they do pay taxes and contribute to the economy of the city, and they want to remain doing that. I hope that you will hear their voice through my message, and now is the time to lead by example and show your constituents what you are made of and remind them why they voted for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Do I have to turn this off?
If you can leave it on. Thank you very much. It's a very professional presentation, and it's heartfelt. I completely understand. Thank you. Councilor Motley?
I would just like to say thank you for coming to the council and addressing your concerns. That would be me, I guess, when she was sitting in the crowd 2 weeks ago, I think, when I asked if you were a taxpayer, because I saw your scrubs, and it was exciting to see somebody that might be a Virginia taxpayer actually in the building, which is cool, but I apologize if you felt like that was a threat by me asking you if you're a taxpayer. So, but just know, I don't think anybody here wants to see Essentia Health's clinic. Well, it's the City of Virginia's clinic. I don't think that the council wants to see the clinic go to somebody else. And we are bound by certain contract language anyway, but we appreciate your concerns in addressing them. And I mean, I think both sides are looking forward to working a few things out. It's just some things are under attorney-client privilege where we can't address them. So thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilor Motley, and thanks to all of you who came here tonight. Time out of your day. It has an adverse effect on your work environment. It does affect healthcare in the City of Virginia. We have a hospital, we have a clinic, we have healthcare. We want to ensure that we have a healthy place to live and work. Healthcare is the largest employer in the City of Virginia, and we don't want to lose that. So thank you very much for coming in. Any other questions, comments from the council? Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to item number 7, unfinished business, item 7.1, the clinic lease. Any updates with respect to our negotiating team? Britt or Brian?
I guess the one update is we did deliver some additional information that was received very well, and I think our conversations are moving very positively at this point.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it very much. Anyone else in the council have any questions, comments, or concerns regarding 7.1, the lease, as we move forward with negotiations with Essentia Health? Okay, thank you. We'll move to item number 8, 8.1. It's approved the second reading of the City Ordinance 8, Chapter 20, for the issuance of conduit revenue bonds for the HRA, which is Housing Redevelopment Authority, and project known as Ellis Nettles Tower.
So moved.
Move to approve by Councilor Johnson. Is there support?
Support.
By Councilor Motley. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 8.2, adopt a resolution to hire 2 digital multimedia technicians. I understand these are part-time positions. Is that correct, Britt?
Casual positions.
Casual. Thank you.
So moved.
Move to approve by Councilor Johnson. Is there support? Support. By Councilor Freely. Is there any further discussion? Councilor Bachschnider.
Thank you. So as casual positions, have we confirmed that these employees have the availability that we need to have them to have in order to fill the casual hours?
Yes, we have. They can meet our availability. One prefers days, one prefers evenings, so it works out perfectly.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Bachschnider. Thank you, Britt.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Councilor Motley.
Just a quick question. So if we hired them casually and there's another position open and ask me, can they just jump to it?
We have an MOU about that. There's a number of hours they have to have.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilor Motley. Has been moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Councilor Freely.
I just want to congratulate Britt. I did the opportunity to work professionally with one of these recommended individuals, and holy cow, did you get a good one. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. Moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
No.
Roll call, please, Pam.
Motley,
Yes.
Paulson?
Aye.
Beyondich?
Aye.
Bachschnider?
No.
Friedlieb?
Aye.
Huffy?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-1. Thank you. Item 8.3, adopt the resolution to hire a repair crew foreman. And you have it in your
So
packet. Move to approve by Counselor Johnson. Is there support?
Support.
By Counselor Freely. Further discussion? Britt, a quick synopsis, please.
The interview committee collected applications. We interviewed. This is an existing employee who missed the deadline for the internal posting, so he had to post externally, and he is now the preferred candidate for this position.
Okay, thank you. Moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I'm sorry, did you have a question? I looked at your, I know it wasn't on.
That's okay. I do have a question if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
please do.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. I just was curious as to how many candidates were interviewed, or how many applied and how many were interviewed.
I believe for this one, it was 7 applied, and we scheduled 7 interviews, 1 didn't show up. So
Okay.
it was,
So you had a good
we
turnout?
had a really good,
Okay.
really good one. Yeah, really good turnout, which was good. Yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
it was good.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. I apologize. I didn't see your light come on. So all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Counselor Freely? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 8.4, adopt a resolution ordering the repair or removal of a hazardous conditions located at 714 Second Street South.
So moved.
Move to approve by Counselor Johnson. Is there support?
Support.
By Counselor Motley. Is there any further discussion? Counselor Paulson?
Thank you, Mayor. I just have a process question that would apply to 8.4, 8.5, and 8.6. How are the landowners notified, and how much time are they given to repair or remove the hazardous conditions?
Jenny, would you help her with that question, please?
I can attempt to do my best to answer that question, because it does vary. It varies on the conditions, it varies on the violation. Letters are sent, certified letters are sent, so that process is the same throughout. And then additionally, we do post notice until we get to this point. So all of that process is the same, but the timelines vary slightly depending on what the circumstances are.
Okay, and then after this ordering of these repairs, then how do we follow up and make sure the work has been completed?
Jenny?
Thank you, Mayor. So after whatever the time frame that's set for that, we do re-inspect, and if no work has been done, then we do have authority to do that work ourselves and assess the property. So that's one option, or, again, it varies by degree, but we do work with our attorneys too on what we need to do to move that process forward through the court system as well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilor Paulson. Thank you, Jenny. So as moved and supported, we'll vote once again. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 8.5, adopt the resolution ordering the repair or removal of hazardous conditions located at 1312 7th Street, 1312 12th Street South.
So moved.
Support.
Move to approve by Counselor Johnson, supported by Counselor Motley. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 8.7, adopt a resolution ordering the repair or removal of hazardous conditions located at 424 16th Street South.
So moved.
Move to approve by Counselor Johnson. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Counselor Bachschnider. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And finally, item 8.7, approve the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources Cooperative Fire Agreement with the Fire Department. This is something we do on an annual basis.
I will move the agreement.
Counselor Johnson moves to approve the agreement. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Counselor Bachschnider. Further discussion. This cooperative agreement between the fire and the DNR, where if we need to respond, we're fully reimbursed by the DNR for wages, salary, and all the equipment that we need done. It's a mutual aid agreement, and it's vice versa as well. So all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 9, committee reports. Item 9.1, the committee of the whole meeting that was held on May 6th, 2025. We'll turn this portion of our city council meeting over to our city administrator, Britt C. Bennis. Britt?
Thank you. At the Committee of the Whole meeting on May 6th, we had a request from Joel Kalberg regarding the use of the property next to the VFW and the former Royal Cafe. It was moved and supported to approve the request for the use of the city property located on Chestnut Street between the VFW and the Royal Cafe to conduct a Bible readathon from May 31st to June 5th, 2025.
So moved.
Mayor, excuse me, they are canceling that. They're postponing it for now. He called today.
Okay, well then we won't act on that.
Thank you, though.
Thank you. Let's move on to the next item on the agenda, please.
Thank you. Second item on the agenda is we reviewed the proposed agreement with CTC for placement of fiber internet and phone services at the Virginia Public Safety Center. It was moved and supported to approve the proposal from CTC for the Public Safety Center internet services.
So moved.
I'll move to approve by Counselor Paulson and supported by Counselor Johnson. Is there any further discussion? By hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
It was moved and supported to approve the defibrillator monitor one-year service plan with Zoll.
That's for the fire EMS. Moved by Counselor Johnson, supported by Counselor Motley. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to adopt the resolution to hire 9 summer student laborers.
So moved.
A move to approve by Counselor Johnson. Is there support? Support by Counselor Freely. Further discussion of these budgeted items?
They are.
Thank you. Counselor Bachschnider.
Thank you. I know at the committee of the whole meeting, we mentioned that we were initially planning on 6 and that now we are hiring 9. I'm wondering what the check and balance is going to be to ensure that we stay within the budget, whether that be a reduced hours or what that looks like. Thank you.
That's the monthly meetings we have for finance. We'll be looking at the part-time wages and making sure that the students go over. Some of them can start next week, some can't start till middle of June, some can only stay till the middle of August, some can stay till October. So it just varies on what the student is and where they're going. We do require you have to be a student, so a lot of them are graduating seniors going off to college, so they don't have a very long time to be with us, but we'll use them while we can.
Thank you. What would we do if we reach the budget, like, let's say halfway or 3/4 of the way through the summer?
That's a great question. We've never had that happen, but if we did, we would just have to give them notice that they're done. They're not union employees, they're just seasonals, summer students. The one difference with these ones, any other regular employee works 67 shifts and becomes a union member, there's a special clause in the PELRA law that because they're students doing seasonal jobs, it's 100 shifts. So that they all have to be under the 100 shifts. I don't know that we've ever had anybody even reach close to that maximum in the years I've been here, but that's the maximum they can work.
Thank you, very helpful.
Thank you, Counselor Bachschnider. Thank you, Britt. So it has been moved and supported to hire the 9 summer laborers. Casual, is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify, I'm sorry, Counselor Johnson. Okay, thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Mr. Matt Reeder, engineer of record from SCH, was present to discuss the golf ball barrier net that we are looking to place along 11th Avenue North, along the golf course side. We did have discussion at the meeting that there might be a cheaper solution, so staff is working on a map of that right now and getting a price quote that we will bring back to the committee of the whole next week. We also discussed a grant that we have been approved for from MPCA Implementation Grant for Wastewater Resilience Program for the Sewer Rehabilitation Phase 2 project. This would be a cure-in-place lining that would be inserted into 2 sections of sewer on the south side of town. It was moved and supported to approve to receive those grant funds from the MPCA Implementation Grant for that project.
Move to approve by Counselor Johnson, supported by Counselor. Please, let's repeat again. Who moved? Moved by Counselor Freely. Is there support by Counselor Johnson? Is there any further discussion? Counselor Bachschnider.
Thank you. My understanding is this is a matching grant, so where will we be finding the funds from for the match?
This was budgeted for this year, in this year's budget.
Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Bachschnider. Moved and supported. Further discussion, Counselor Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. Just for the general public's understanding, we got an email today, I believe, at 1:05 from Jim Rotsfit with pictures of what we're trying to fix. And I'm looking at them here on my phone. And they're literally terracotta tiles that are pushed together. There was a sinkhole that started itself in town. And so anything that we can do moving forward here to make sure that our city's streets are safe and we are really working on the inflow, it's I&I inflow and, excuse me, another I, what's that?
Infiltration.
Infiltration will save us money long-term down at the water processing plant because it's not going into the rain sewers, the storm sewers, and going into the creek. It's going into our sewers that we use for all the nasty stuff, and then it has to be treated. So this is another great example of how we're trying to get ahead of stuff, knowing that for many, many years, there's been no regular maintenance, no regular inspections. And Mr. Rossfit's doing an excellent job of putting together a program so that moving forward, we can find these things before they become critical and emergencies. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Johnson. It has been moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
We were also notified by the MPCA that we were approved for a grant for Community Resiliency Program grant for our infrastructure for our community splash pad project. This grant does require a match, so the city will be seeking extra funds for the remaining $2,700.80, $270,800. I'm sorry. But we did get a grant for $500,000 if we accept. The motion was to accept the funds from the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency Implementation Grant for Community Resiliency Program for the Community Splash Pad Improvement Project.
So moved.
Move to approve by Counselor Johnson. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Counselor Motley. Further discussion. First, Counselor Johnson who made the motion, and over to Counselor Bachschnider. Counselor Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to say this is an excellent opportunity for student leaders in the community as well as parents and grandparents to do some fundraising, to do some community activism. I know at North Star Elementary we have a phenomenal group of young leaders who like to do stuff. Seeing that it's almost the end of the year, they could start doing some stuff there, but this is truly a community project in the works, and we would encourage folks to reach out and see what they can do to help us raise that last $270,000. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor Johnson. Counselor Bachschnider.
Thank you. If we do not get the $270,000 through fundraising, what would be the plan to find the remaining part of the match?
Well, the plan,
I think the plan would be we wouldn't accept the grant. We wouldn't use the funds. We have until July 2027 to expend the funds, so we have some time.
Perfect, thank you.
yeah, we have until 2027, and then if we don't raise the money, the grant money goes back. 207,000.
170,800.
270 or 207?
270.
270, a Quinn Martin production. Yeah. Okay, thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
The Committee of the Whole, we reviewed the concepts that came forward from the Eastern Recreation Area public meetings, community meetings. It was moved and supported to approve the proposed Concept A for the Eastern Recreation Area to get us to the point of 30% design plans for that project.
So moved.
A move to approve by Counselor Motley. Is there support?
Support.
By Counselor Paulson. Further discussion? Counselor Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. I will continue to not support this. While it's a great idea, and it's several years out, that we won't send our staff and our counselors to events that could possibly help us with this, give us information. What did they do? How did they do it? And again, for a couple $1,000s versus this project that is going to, we might get some grant funding, but then what does the upkeep look like? How do we maintain trails? How do we do all that stuff to make it viable and to make sure it doesn't get dropped off as budgets become tighter and we continue to cut or not hire staff? So I will not be supporting this moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Johnson. We discussed it at length. This is a long-term process. A lot of negotiations have to go on before this could ever come to fruition. There's a lot of parties and property owners that are incumbent, both state, federal, and private properties that we need to move forward. There was a grant that was received for moving forward with this. This is simply a concept. No additional funds are being expended by the city with respect to this. And until such time as this is complete, I think the concept moving forward, I will be supporting it. If it creates any additional costs associated with the city, that's something we can revisit. But it's good to have a concept moving forward. If it doesn't go any further and there no other additional money is expended, at least we've got to that point. So we had all the community meetings. We talked with all the interested parties, people from the Franklin Edition. We talked to the DNR. We talked to RGGS Minerals. We talked to the state of Minnesota. We talked to a number of other property owners in private different meetings, and we were in attendance for that. And so this is just simply a concept moving forward. So no additional money is being expended. Once it is, we'll have to determine whether or not we want to continue to move forward. So is there any other further discussion regarding this concept? Councilor Motley.
Just questioning up, trying to put you on the spot, Angie, but as a business owner, have you heard of any of this before? Okay. And I'll just make this quick, since you are a business owner on the main street. The intent of this Eastern Recreation Destination is a way to revitalize the downtown business district with some major, pretty cool possibilities. There's a couple designs that we're looking to possibly approve if the council chooses tonight. It's already paid for, but if this thing ever took off, it would be, in my opinion, pretty monumental for the downtown and also Virginia as a whole. So, thank you, Mayor.
And thank you. Just one more thing. There is a concern on the part of the community, part of the elected body, others that, if this goes any farther, who's going to maintain that? What's that going to cost? How is that going to affect your taxes? All that comes later on down the road. This is simply a concept moving forward. Pick a concept, determine whether or not this is the way you want to go, and then determine our next steps. So it has been moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Councilor Freely.
And I'll just reiterate, I think it's a grand idea, exceptional idea. It's very exciting in principle, but I think it's untimely in practicality. So that's why I'm not supportive of moving forward with it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Councilor Freely. So it has been moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
No.
Roll call, please, Pam.
Paulson.
Aye.
Yondich.
Aye.
Bachschnider.
Aye.
Friedlieb.
No.
Huffy.
Aye.
Johnson.
No.
Motley.
Yes.
A motion passes 5-2. Thank you. Next item, please.
Thank you. The next item came from the Street and Alley meeting. It was moved and supported to approve the request for the street closure of the 100 block of Chestnut Street and designate the area as no parking on Friday, August 1st, 2025, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. to conduct an acoustic show.
So moved.
I'll move to approve by Councilor Paulson, supported by
Or
Councilor Johnson. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, please.
It was moved and supported to approve the request for street closure, the 100 block of 3rd Avenue North at Sugar Shack, to conduct the Thursday night street shows from June to August 2025.
so moved.
Support.
Moved by Councilor Johnson, supported by Councilor Beyondich. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
1 second.
9.1J.
Yep, thank you. I was missing my pages here. Mr. Matt Rader, City Engineer Record, discussed the 507 Second Street North request regarding the retaining wall and the traffic that goes behind the businesses there. It was moved and supported to approve the proposed cost estimate for the repair of the retaining wall at 507 Second Street North.
So moved.
Move to approve by Counselor Motley. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Counselor Johnson. Is there any further discussion? Counselor Bachschnider.
Thank you. So to confirm, the retaining wall that we are speaking of, is that on city property or private property?
There was, while she's looking that up, there was a retaining wall there before. The city maintained it. It crumbled as a result of weather, old vehicles hitting it. The purpose of the retaining wall is to separate the alleyway from private residents there to ensure that trucks weren't operating and driving on the individual's lawn, which has been occurring. There's been an ongoing discussion with the property owner that is benefiting from this, and that's the Circle K. With respect to the vehicles going back there, long 40-foot, 30-foot tractor trailers making sundry deliveries. It's a very tight turn in there, very narrow. And there was a telephone pole or a pole that was knocked down by one of those. I was happened to be there and watched him hit the pole and knock it down. And so it's been an ongoing saga for these homeowners for a long time. And I believe that the individual that came to speak before us has been very patient about this. We have a safety obligation to fix this thing and put that retaining wall back up or a similar facsimile along with the signs I think that we're looking moving forward to deter and deflect and ensure these trucks don't travel down that way and come down 6th Avenue instead. Circle K has also been notified by our Public Works Director to advise all those deliveries to find a different pathway than using that roadway system. Did you have any more information about that retaining wall?
Mayor, I believe it's constructed within a public right-of-way.
Very
Part of
good.
the right-of-way.
Very good, thank you. Counselor Bachschnider?
Thank you. Knowing that it's a public right-of-way, I feel a lot better about it. I was worried about any sort of precedent we would be setting doing this, but was going to look for legal advice, so thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, Counselor Bachschnider. It has been moved and supported. Has it been? It has not been. Looking for a motion moving forward. Was there? Thank you, Pam. It was moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those, Counselor Freely.
I haven't found in the packet what's that cost estimate? 18,000. Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other discussion before we vote? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
9.1K was a motion to approve the recommendation to place temporary signage at 507 2nd Street North for traffic control.
So moved.
Move to approve by Counselor Johnson. Is there support? Support. By Counselor Beyondich. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Matt Reed discussed the allocation of state aid funding that the city has in their state aid bank that we could use towards the 14th Avenue, 20th Street and Southern Drive project. The balance that was in the fund at this moment is $1,681,880, but we do need to keep a little bit of funds in there for future maintenance and future payments of other projects. It was moved and supported to allocate $1,273,085 of state aid funds towards the 14th Avenue, 20th Street South and Southern Drive project.
So moved.
Move to approve by Counselor Johnson. Is there support?
Support.
By Counselor Motley. Further discussion. Counselor Bachschnider.
Thank you. Regarding the email we got today from Jim Rosvit about the street that is going to need immediate repair, I do have concerns in approving this only because I think we're going to have to look at our current projects for the year and prioritize what needs to get done versus what can potentially wait in order so we can find the funds to fix that street that now needs immediate repair. And so for that reason, I'm not sure where this project ends up on the priority list without Matt here to tell us. And so for that reason, I move to table this to the committee of the whole meeting for further discussion.
Okay, thank you. Counselor Bachschnider moves to table. Is there support? Is there support? Is there support? Motion fails for lack of support. There's a motion on the floor and a second to approve. Further discussion. First, Councilor Paulson, then over to Councilor Johnson. Councilor Paulson.
Thank you, Mayor. So state aid funds apply to specific state aid roadways, right?
Correct.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
So Southern Drive, the allocation designation would be a state aid project, and the new sinkhole
Not a state aid street.
is not a state aid street, so we would not be able to use those funds for that.
I do not believe 14th or 20th are state aid streets as well.
No, but Southern Drive is, and we are already in contract with this, for this project, which already is underway already. So this is just using the state aid funds this requires us to use less bonding money. So it's actually cheaper for the citizens to use the state aid funds than it would be if we didn't use them. So it's less levy money or assessment we have to use because we're using state aid funds on the project.
Pam?
Thank you, Mayor. I believe only part of Southern Drive is eligible for this project from what Mr. Reed had stated at the COW.
So sorry, Mayor.
Yes, Councilor Paulson.
So by allocating these dollars, we're just putting them aside. We're not necessarily utilizing them until estimates have come forward.
We've already signed the contract. The work's already started this week.
Okay, so this is the allocation.
This is going to, and we will have the finance people here next week to talk about the bond, but when we take that bond, they will subtract this off the total dollar amount that we need to bond for, will be less 1.273 million. And then we take off the amount that we have to specially assess, whatever we said it's gonna be, it's gotta be a minimum of 20%, that comes off, and then that's the bond dollar amount we need to take out.
And we are required, though, so what I'm reading is the actual resolution, we're required to allocate, and we have to designate the streets of the allocation, but if 14th and 20th and partial of Southern, I guess I am a little confused then of the actual allocation.
The part of Southern Drive that needs to be redone is going to be use this portion.
So in the map, Britt, on page 97, and it has the color coded there, and I'm sorry, I don't know if Matt explained this last week. So Southern, see, this has different,
Yeah, this page 97 is our 10-year street outlay for the 2025 through 2030, actually, so it's more streets. This portion of Southern Drive that we're doing is from the railroad tracks.
it says 2025 to 2030, so,
The portion we're doing is from the railroad tracks to 14th Avenue. That's what we're doing right now, today.
okay. Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you, Councilor Paulson. We have a motion on the floor and support. This has been a project long time coming. This has been identified over the course of the last decade of all the streets that have to be done. As everybody knows that's sitting in this room, and everybody that drives the streets of Virginia knows the condition of these roadways are horrible. And it's not just the street surface that's a problem, it's the infrastructure underneath that needs to be repaired. The water lines need to come out, the steam lines need to come out, the sewer lines are collapsing, our storm sewer drains are in bad shape. It's underneath. These streets have been identified to move on. The projects have already been put together, allocated, and prioritized. If we have an emergency repair on Fifth Street, we'll have to deal with that. But we can't and should not take these funds away to offer something that's an emergency situation. We'll have to deal with that. But these roadways, these have been let out. This is part of the project. It's part of the 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28 projects and beyond. And so I think we have to continue moving forward with this. That's my opinion. Moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Mayor?
I'm sorry. Councilor Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate your words, and I just wanted to reiterate that and also say that we have done this project that's been vetted. We voted on it multiple times, and it concerns me when we need, these are processes that we need to do in a timely manner to move forward. My concern becomes, and I've stated this before in this room, that we get to this point as a body and then we decide to think about it some more or take it back and not approve. I'm concerned that as we move forward, we are going to get less bids and less competitive bids because folks are going to be wary of whether or not the city of Virginia is going to honor its already established contracts and agreements that have been signed to do this. So we need the streets done. Like the mayor said, we've been talking about this for years, and we need to move the money so it can go to lower the assessment on property taxes for our citizens. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. It has been moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next item, please.
Mr. Reed discussed the 6th Avenue West reconstruction project that was discussed at the Street and Alley Committee. With the steam system being shut down, the utilities that are underneath 6th Avenue, that run underneath the power plant, will need to be moved. Removal of the lines, including the steam lines, and redoing the sidewalks and the streets will need to happen over a 3-year construction period. We had applied for one grant for the project. We did find out we were not successful, but we will keep trying to apply for grants. It was questioned how much the public utilities will be paying for those relocation of those lines. And it was noted that the public utilities will be responsible for the water lines and the removal of all the steam lines and steam belts. It was moved and supported to approve the proposed timeline for the 6th Avenue West reconstruction project.
So moved.
Move to approve by Councilor Johnson. Is there support by Councilor Freely? Further discussion. This will go in 2026, 2027, 2028. 6th Avenue, not just along there, but all along 6th Avenue, all the way down past the Circle K, all the way around there, where you see that crack moving forward. That infrastructure is really crumbling, and that is our main delivery line for sewer and water. This is the main line for the city of Virginia, so that has to be repaired. And this is going to be over a 3-year period, which is going to be a significant cost and a very long, arduous delays in traffic rerouting for those who utilize 6th Avenue. So, Britt, anything else on that?
No, that was perfect.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments from the council? Councilor Paulson?
Mayor, so we do have an approximate cost of $10.3 million, and that the city staff has applied for a $5 million MPCA storm sewer implementation grant. And so my question is, going forward, how will we know where funding is going to come from if it's not in the form of a bond? And when, at what point are we going to review our, number one, our bond status, and then how many are coming up on the different, that list prior on page 97? How many are coming up, and what, I mean, we really need to talk about that. Maybe that can be part of our working session discussion, because I feel I'm really concerned as to, I'm sure most of us are, as to where we're going to get the money and how that's going to impact us by bonding for that high of an amount.
And we do need to discuss, because we have to have our state bond request in by June 13th, I believe. Yeah, so this would be a great candidate for that, but we need to talk about that as a council, if that's what our priority should be for next year.
So could we move that? Do you want it on the committee of the whole or working session? Or I just feel like this is an imminent thing we need to discuss.
It is.
Because the price tag is so high.
Yeah, and I agree. I think we all have to discuss that moving forward, but the purpose of this vote is to approve the timeline, not to approve any fundings. Okay, so just look at the timeline. If we can make an adjustment to the timeline, if we can't find the funding. But I agree, we have to talk about where the funding is going to come from. But we did talk about at the committee of the whole meeting approving a timeline, provided that we can find the funding for it. So it's something to be discussed at the yeah.
I'm a little worried about the timeline, because it says the project award would be March 2026. So we would need to know where we're going with the bonding for 2026
We can
start construction. So yeah, you would need the bond executed in 2026.
Well, so by approving this timeline, you're expediting the process moving forward. You don't necessarily have to abide by that timeline if you don't have the funding for it.
So we're not committed by moving this forward on that?
We're not committed, no, we're just approving the timeline that's been
Developed.
presented and developed to us by Matt Reed, our city engineer.
Thank you.
But your points are very well taken. We need to discuss that at a working session. Counselor Motley?
I would ask this if Matt was here, Britt, but no, sorry if you don't remember or know or whatever, but when we lost out on the grant he applied for, or we applied for it, do you remember what he said and when we could apply for that again? Because I remember asking him at the street and alley meeting.
Yes, and I think he said December, I think it was.
December of this year?
We're pretty sure the reason we didn't get it, they had $73 million they were giving out, is we weren't ready this year. And they run on fiscal year that is July through July. And so I think they wanted to get it committed today, and we weren't ready today. We were just,
Okay, I thought there was something positive, hopefully, on that conversation.
but we'll
Okay.
try again next year again, when their new fiscal year starts in July. We'll keep an eye on that again.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, it has been moved and supported to approve the proposed timeline for the 6th Avenue West construction project. It has been moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next item, please.
Mr. Reed discussed the emergency repair that we need to complete on the sanitary sewer line at the 7.5 Street South T Alley, which he was proposing to repair under the 2024 Street Improvement Project contract. This alley was not in our original plans for work in this area, but it is an emergency situation that needs to be fixed. But essentially, it's a steam vault that has a broken sewer line, so there's a steam vault full of sewage in this alley sitting there that we need to fix immediately because it is a health hazard. So Matt got a quote from the contractor that's working in that area already, and to do a change order to fix the 7.5 T Alley project to eliminate the health hazard. It was moved and supported to approve the resolution for change order number 1 to repair that sanitary sewer line at 7.5 Street T Alley, 7.5 Street South T Alley, under the 2024 Street Improvement Project.
So moved.
Move to approve by Counselor Johnson. Is there support?
Support for discussion?
Counselor Friedlieb.
I'm sorry, Counselor Freely, did you?
Well, I believe that this came under the contingency for this project.
Yes,
as
thank
well.
you.
And
There's
we
a
had
$400,000 balance in the contingency for this project. We'll use that funds for this, to pay for this.
So you move that and supported by?
I was
Counselor
going to
Motley?
support it, yes.
Okay, further discussion. This is the issue where somehow or another, back in the day, they covered that sanitary sewer, so we know, you know it was there.
Correct.
So that's what
We
created the
didn't know the
problem.
sanitary sewer line was in the steam vault, which is number 1 is the biggest problem. You shouldn't have been in the steam vault.
They'd never
Number 2,
been there.
We didn't know it was broken.
So they covered it up way back in the day, so now we've discovered it has to be repaired. Counselor Motley, further discussion.
Counselor Friedlieb kind of went off onto what I was going to discuss, so thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Counselor Freely. Thank you, Counselor Motley. Counselor Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. I will be recusing myself of this. I did some research, and because I'm not involved in any of the discussion, it's an actual recusal, not just an abstention. So I am recusing myself of the vote and the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a motion on the floor in support. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes with one recusal. Thank you.
Mr. Reed was requested at the Street and Alley Committee meeting to review the intersection of 9th Avenue South, or 9th Avenue North, actually, in West Chestnut, regarding the designated turn lanes. After Mr. Reed reviewed the area, he noted that there is room on West Chestnut to stripe turn arrows left and right where it dead ends at 9th Avenue. It was moved and supported to approve the striping at the intersection of West Chestnut and 9th Avenue for designated turn lanes.
So moved.
Move to approve by Counselor Paulson. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Counselor Johnson. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to approve the resolution to enter into an agreement with State of Minnesota Joint Powers Agreement with the City of Virginia.
So moved.
Move to approve by Counselor Johnson. Is there support?
Support.
By Counselor Bachschnider. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Moved and supported to approve the resolution amending the Lake Superior Violent Offender Task Force Joint Powers Agreement.
So moved.
I'll move to approve by Counselor Johnson. Is there support? By Counselor Beyondich. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Opposed? Motion carries.
It was moved and supported to approve the city council entry into the 2025 Land of the Loon Parade.
So moved.
I'll move to approve by Counselor Johnson. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Counselor Bachschnider. Further discussion? I wish everybody all the best. I'll be with the military honor guard during that Land of the Loon Parade, so good luck to everybody. Pass out a lot of good stuff. Moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Opposed? Motion carries.
We had discussion regarding the recommendations from the Planning and Zoning Commission regarding the zoning. At the Committee of the Whole, it was moved and supported to move forward with the zoning ordinance amendments for Chapter 11 as recommended by the Planning and Zoning Commission.
You missed S. Item S.
Thank you. I'm sorry, jumping forward. It was moved and supported to set a council work session on May 20th, 2025, following the regularly scheduled Committee of the Whole meeting, and to post it as a working session.
So move.
A move to approve by Counselor Bachschnider. Is there support?
Support.
By Counselor Motley. Is there further discussion? Counselor Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. I will once again raise concern that this is the exact purpose of a committee of the whole meeting, and that should be part of it. And because we normally, we haven't done work sessions before, but I want to make sure that as folks around this room are really adamant about that, we do either televise it live or we make sure it gets recorded and played out so that the citizens of Virginia can see what is going on at the work session as well as our normal committee of the whole and evening meeting. So I will be making that motion following this vote.
Okay, thank you. It has been moved and supported to set the working session for immediately following the council committee of the whole meeting on May 20th. Is there any further discussion on that motion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
No.
Roll call, please, Pam.
Beyondich. Aye. Bachschnider.
Aye.
Friedlieb.
Aye.
Huffy.
Aye.
Johnson.
No.
Motley.
Yes.
Paulson.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-1. Thank you.
I will move that we record and televise the working session.
Support.
Moved by Counselor Johnson, supported by Counselor Bachschnider, to televise the work session that was just passed in the previous motion. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Get back to item 9.1T. It was moved and supported to move forward with the zoning ordinance amendments for Chapter 11 as recommended by Planning and Zoning Commission.
Counselor Paulson.
Thank you, Mayor. I know we did have some discussion at the last meeting, but I guess I'm really concerned. Specifically, it would be on page 119 of the packet, and it's the 11.13 beginning, regulations, and what is permitted and what is being changed. And so if you go, I guess I would just like to vet this out a little bit if we could. We have to have
please.
continued
Let's do it.
discussion. I'm all in favor of doing that. But I'm concerned about the buildings combining residential and non-residential uses specifically have never been permitted in residential zone R1. They've been always conditional permitting in R2 through R5. So I have concerns regarding, it would be buildings combining residential and non-residential. And to me, the definition, and I'd like to go over these, but to me, the definition would be then businesses could be where they haven't been able to be located in R1, and I'm not sure if that's the correct depiction of that. But this is, I guess, what I'd like to explain why I'm not in favor of moving this forward at this time. And then right underneath that, it says the conversion of single-family dwelling to no more than 4 units. And it has never been permitted before in an R1, which is residential 1 or residential 2 zoning district. It's been permitted in R3, R4, and R5, and which makes sense in those R3, R4, and R5 because the population increases according to the zone. So I have a concern with people that are purchasing a home, and if the home across the street or next to them goes for sale, under these proposed ordinance changes, someone would be able to come and buy a single-family dwelling in a zone R1 or R2 and convert that to a fourplex. And I'm very concerned that this will fundamentally overhaul residential neighborhoods in the city of Virginia. And on top of that, I do not know if it congeals or mirrors our new ordinances on the books for our rental code ordinances. We have parking as part of that ordinance. So I have some concern about moving forward with those specific items. And then where in the past, multifamily, which is over 12 units, was not allowed in residential 1 or 2, is now being considered under conditional, so they could apply to have a multifamily over 12 units in a residential 1 or 2 area. And then it says multifamily over 12 units, meaning 5 to 12 unit multifamily dwellings. And again, those would be conditional use permits or conditional permits that have never been before. So I feel like this is fundamentally, it's fundamentally overhauling residents and when people buy a home, they have a reasonable expectation to why they're purchasing that home, whether it be in Ridgewood or Northside. They have a reasonable expectation of what they're going to enjoy as a resident in the city of Virginia by purchasing a home in a residential area. And by changing this, it truly fundamentally will change or could potentially overhaul the makeup and the fundamental makeup of residential neighborhoods in the city of Virginia. Then if you go to page 121, so now we're talking about business districts, so B1 and B2, and it's not redlined, it's just struck out, so it's a little hard, but it's in the middle under multifamily housing. So prior to that, multifamily housing was conditional on Chestnut Street, which is your B1 corridor, and B2, it'd be great to see map overlayments, but I believe B2 is 2nd Avenue, 6th, a lot of 6th and 9th Avenue. And again, I feel that this multifamily housing, which is what some of the businesses are maybe just first of all learning about, because this chart just came before the council. We weren't really aware of what those changes were and what the ramifications of the recommendation of the proposed ordinance changes were. But upon further looking at multifamily housing on Main Street, on Chestnut Street, again, in my opinion, fundamentally changes when a business owner or a building owner, I'll say a business owner, decides to locate their business in our business corridor. There is a level of expectation that commerce is going to be conducted along that corridor for business-specific purposes, and that's why it is zoned B1, and B2 has a little bit of differences, I feel like, with maybe the gas stations, or there's some, I don't know, Jenny could maybe discuss that a little bit further, but upon reviewing this, it is my opinion that we are looking to fundamentally change the downtown business district, which business owners, when they come in and they locate their business there, they locate with a certain amount of expectation that is provided under our B1 zoning definition. And by changing this, it will create a completely different picture down on Chestnut Street, especially in the B1. I'm not sure, I'd have to look over the complete B2. I feel like B2 is also by F&D Meats. Is that a B2 location? So with those recommendations, I truly feel that this, the public had no chance to weigh in. We were given a chart with not really any explanation. So I'm here tonight to address this, try to do it diplomatically. And I'm not in favor of overhauling fundamental zoning districts that have been long-time established zones in the city of Virginia, both in residential and in our business district. So I will not be in favor of moving these recommended changes forward on the chart specifically. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Paulson. Before we go to Councilor Johnson, I took the weekend, part of the weekend, and looked once again at the ordinances. There are some sections, not only the ones that you discussed, Councilor Paulson, but some others with the VRBO, how it affects apartment living, complex of things. I need a little bit more clarity, and the work that the planning and zoning has done is remarkable. The work that Jenny has done has been remarkable. We're heading toward the right direction of putting together ordinance that's going to be updated with respect to zoning. But there are some parts of that zoning ordinance I need a little clarity on. So I'd like to move this down just a little bit longer so that we can take another look and answer these questions, vet them out, and make sure that the citizens are aware of this, particularly the business owners and others, how this could affect how they operate downtown and moving forward. So there's others that I have written down, but to sit there and discuss this right now at the council meeting, I would like to see, I just would like some clarity from planning and zoning and from Jenny and others about how we move forward and some of the things just to make sure that we understand and I understand and that the citizens have an opportunity to also weigh in as well. So thank you for that, Councilor Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. One of the other discussions we had was about the chart versus the ordinance. And so I would like to make a motion that we split those two and we work on them independently so that we can have clarity in both of them.
The motion by Councilor Johnson is to take, once again, please, Councilor Johnson, repeat.
To take the ordinance and address that, and then take the chart and address that as two bodies.
Motion by Councilor Johnson. Is there support? Is there support?
Support for discussion.
Support by Councilor Paulson for discussion. Further discussion.
It was
Hold that
Councilor
in-
Bachschnider that
I'm sorry,
supported
Councilor
for
Bachschnider. Hold that
discussion.
in advance for a moment, if you would, please. I just looked around to see the lights, and I couldn't see there, so I apologize for that. Jenny?
I just would like to make one point of clarification, is that it's all the same ordinance in the chapter, it's just two different sections. So you'd be wanting to separate the sections of the ordinance out. The chart is actually part of the ordinance.
Yes, that wording, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Paulson?
Thank you, Mayor. So I tried to separate that out the last meeting so we could do that separate and was told that it was all one. So can we separate that? And if we are separating it, then this would be the first reading of that ordinance tonight without the chart. We're adopting the ordinance. It would be the first reading of the ordinance tonight.
Well, it would be the first reading of the ordinance, and by separating these two out, it's part of the ordinance, so it'd be the first reading, whether you separate it out or not, it's still part of the ordinance, just a different section of the ordinance, so.
That's what I had asked at the committee of the whole and was told, no, it's one.
Right, and you did ask that at the committee of the whole meeting. We're now here again discussing that again. And I'm going to reiterate here as our legal team, Brian Lindsay has taken a quick look at and see how that moves forward, how we can separate that out. But for me, I just need more clarity. I need more information. There's some issues that I really think come forward, no matter where it comes from. So, Brian, do you have anything to proffer here with respect to Councilor Johnson's motion separating these two items out, or how that works?
I hope I do, Mayor. I hope I can help clarify.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So, because they're different sections within the ordinance, they theoretically can be considered separately. It's just the critical feature is to make sure that on the final pass-through, before they're approved, that they're consistent with one another and that we have consistency throughout. And so absolutely, they can be separated and considered separately. The other thing to mention is if we're looking at potentially changing some of the language, a first reading here may not be all that productive because any language that changes between a first and second, you go back to a reintroduction and first reading again, so.
Thank you. That's a little convolutedly clear to me, but no, I understand. I appreciate that. Thank you. Councillor Paulson?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you so much, Brian, for that clarification, because what I was told on Tuesday is they could not be separated. And that's why because I'm in favor of the language that's changed in the first section, I have issues with the chart. So, but if we are going to look at the chart and maybe make changes to that chart, then it wouldn't make sense to separate them to do a first reading, is what I'm trying to understand right now. Right. Right. So I would make a tabling motion to table this to the, I would say table it to the next committee of the whole where we could discuss it. So I would move to table.
Okay, one moment, please, before you do. So do we have a motion on the floor? We have two motions or one? One. Okay, so you're moving to table?
I would move to table item 9.1T to the next committee of the whole.
Support.
Okay, moved by Councillor Paulson, supported by Councillor Bachschnider to table 9.1T
Yes.
or the whole
ma'am.
thing?
9.1T is the whole thing.
Okay, that's the whole thing. Okay, thank you. Just to make sure, clarify for the public. So there's a motion to table. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
No.
Motion, roll call, please, Pam. Thank you.
Bachschnider,
Aye.
Friedlieb,
No.
Duffy,
Aye.
Johnson,
No.
Motley,
Yes.
Paulson,
Aye.
Yondich.
Motion passes 5-2. Thank you. Okay, next item, please.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda was a motion to approve the rezoning of the city property along Highway 53 and Second Avenue from I-1 to B2.
So moved.
Move to approve by Councillor Johnson. Is there support?
Support.
By Councillor Motley. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries.
Mayor?
I'm sorry, Jenny?
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but we
Yeah,
do need to
please.
set a public hearing as well, and that can be referred to planning and zoning to set that public hearing for a rezoning, but I just wanted to make that clarification.
So we'll table this to the next committee whole meeting, but your recommendation is we set a public hearing to talk about these?
The rezoning,
Rezoning
the actual rezoning needs to be.
Thank you.
So you could set that public hearing
Right now?
here, it's just, it needed to be added to that item,
Well, it needs to be added to the motion then? So,
or as a separate motion to set a public hearing.
yeah, let's do that in a separate motion.
So move.
Moved by Councillor Bachschnider to set a public hearing regarding this matter. Is there support? Support. By Councillor Paulson. Further discussion. Councillor Motley. Pardon?
My light's not on. It is now, but it wasn't.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed. Motion carries. Thank you.
We went into closed session at the Committee of the Whole meeting to discuss potential litigation as per Minnesota Statute 13D05, Subdivision 3, and for preliminary property negotiations for sale of land as per Minnesota Statute 13D05, Subdivision 3, Section 1. We came out of the closed meeting and a motion was made to approve staff to proceed with potential sale and incorporation of a development agreement for parcel ID 090-0010, 00020, 30, and 40.
So move.
Move to approve by Counselor Bach-Schneider. Is there support?
Support.
By Counselor Johnson. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
It was moved and supported to approve executing the items discussed in the closed session.
So move.
Moved by Counselor Bach-Schneider to approve the items discussed in closed session by staff and the council. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Counselor Johnson. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
No further items from that meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Move to item 10, Commission Liaison Reports. Are there any city councilors that have a commission liaison report they'd like to present today? Seeing none, we'll move on to item 11, Department Head Reports. Item 11.1, Jody Grubinowski, our Library Director, to give us some updates on the 2024 library statistics. Once again, welcome, Jody, to the City
Turn
Council
that on
meeting.
though, because I have fun stuff for you. Otherwise, I can just tell you numbers, so it's not as fun, but I do have slides, but I can just tell you the numbers,
Well,
so.
we can we turn that, we can bring it
There
up.
we go.
We'll bring it up here, Jody.
Alrighty.
Yep,
And then
take care of that, then you can,
just plug in.
took all that time to prepare those slides, we should review them and
It-
bask in the success that you have there.
It's short, so.
Okay.
Well, let me do it. Thinking about it. So, well, I can also just tell you, so just so you know, we're getting ready for summer reading. Next week, we do have after-school event on Wednesday. We're doing mini terrariums. And then also, we have the book club on Thursday. So it's thinking about it. So let me do it. It might not. We might not have the fun of slides, so. Nope. Oh, there we go, maybe. Don't think it's gonna let me show you, so. Oh, well, it's not gonna let me show you my slides. Oh, well. So I guess I'm just going to tell you a little bit about them. Sorry that this didn't work. First thing is the Friends are having their annual meeting next week on the 22nd. It starts at 5:30. Social time, it's social time, and then library staff presentations and the annual meeting. It is at Iron Trail. Tickets are $20. You can pick them up at the library. A little preview into that presentation. So just so you know, there were 41,613 visits to the Virginia Public Library. The library was open 1,639 hours. We hosted 164 programs in 2024. We had over 5,553 attendees, which is pretty good for a town of, 8,500. Our website gets used a lot. So in 2024, we had 33,428 hits, and that is up from 2023, which was 29,483. So top circulating books, this is always one that people want to know. So we just did adult books. We did not do children's books. In the top 5, and we just did books across the board. We didn't separate it by mystery, but James by Everett was the first #1, and that had a lot of PR, New York bestseller, so this community read that a lot. 3-Inch Teeth by C.J. Box, he's a mystery author. If you haven't read that series, it's like 20 long right now, so that is a very popular one, so that is the second to the last one. All Fours by Miranda July, and then if you're a John Sanford fan, he is still up there. Toxic Prey was our #4 circulating book, and then Harlan Coben is our 5th one, and his latest one was Think Twice. So those are just a few of our stats for 2024, and if you want to learn more, come see us next Thursday, 5:30. We'll do the full-on presentation. You'll get to see kind of some of the stuff that we did in 2024, a little bit of a preview for summer reading in 2025. Also a preview of the book bike, which the Friends will be very excited to tell you all about. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Yeah, thank you, Jody. So, to recap, 41,613 visits.
Yep.
1,639 hours that the library was open. 164 programs that were developed over the course of the last year is fantastic. 1,553 attendees to these 164 programs, and website hits of 32,428.
33,428.
33,428, thank you.
And we have some breakdown about all of the amount of items that served. I didn't give you that, which was, in the 70+ thousands. And we talk about the different things and also, of course, some of the other cool things that we check out at the library.
Very, very impressive. Thank you, Jody. Okay. Item 11.2, under Department Head Reports, Britt C. Bennis, our City Administrator, with a recommendation.
Yes, on your desk, I've placed a separation agreement for your consideration. Our options are we can either accept the agreement or we can set a closed session within 72 hours from today.
I will move the separation agreement.
Support.
Councilor Johnson moves to approve the separation agreement, supported by Councilor Freelieb. Is there any further discussion? Councilor Motley.
Is this exactly what we discussed under closed session? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Motley has been moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. I just want to, real quick, before we adjourn, just to give a shout out to our city staff and the road and street projects that are moving forward. Jim Rosvet, our engineer record SCH. You can see that from the general public at June 7th is going to be the second quote put on over there on by the Target store there, 10th Street, 10th Avenue, 13th Street. Then there's some punch list items that are going to be taken care of there as well. Also, there's some other projects moving forward. So there's going to be a busy construction season. You see at the mall, you see some demolition going on in there. There's a new Marshall store coming in there, so that's moving forward. Some additional potential opportunities also forthcoming for some more investment in business and opportunities to help, help us, the pressure that's on the residential homeowners for taxes, by having additional businesses in town really helps that a lot. So we're encouraging that to move forward. And I want to thank Jenny and Britt and the staff for working really diligently, and Pam, you're working on these housing projects, moving on the planning and zoning, looking at all these things that we need to do in order to make this city a better place to live and work. We're trying hard and ways to do that. And thank you to the City Health employees that came here today. Very important that you're here today and very eloquently and professionally presented this evening. So we're working there and we'll get there. So nothing else to come before the council today. Oh, Councilor Johnson. Yes, Councilor Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to touch on the construction. That has nothing to do with my taxes going up for that, which I'm fine with. But a couple of things that I've noticed over the last week on construction started in my alley specifically on Monday. And there was no specific notification prior to Monday that that was the alley it was starting on. So I would request that there be door hangers put on as those alleys are closed. I know some of my neighbors were unaware that it was happening that day and had to figure out how to get some vehicles moved. With that being said, I would like to make a motion to suspend calendar parking on 8th Street and the adjoining avenues during the construction to allow for parking on both sides of those wide streets, being aware of garbage collection.
Sure, thank you. Good motion. Councilor Johnson moves to temporarily suspend calendar parking on 8th Street South in the area where the construction project is moving forward. Is there support?
Support for discussion.
Support by Councilor Paulson for discussion. Further discussion, Councilor Paulson.
Mayor, I don't know, Councilor Johnson, if you would amend, but maybe because of the new sinkhole on 12th Street South, we should consider doing that as well for 12th Street South.
Absolutely. And it does include, my motion does include the avenues that are wide enough perpendicular to the alleys that are being worked on. So those alleys could have, or those avenues that are wide enough could have parking on both sides. I think it'll alleviate a lot of angst for those of us who always park off-street. So I appreciate the council's consideration of that and would amend it for the 12th Street in the area of the sinkhole.
Okay, the amended motion for 12th Street by Councilor John, the amended support as well? Yes, thank you. Okay, moved and supported. Further discussion. Councilor Bachschnider.
Thank you. Can you read back the motion? I just want to ensure that it includes garbage collection, and because there would have to be a side of the street you're parking on garbage collection day. I think I read that on social media.
Councilor Johnson?
Thank you. This wouldn't affect those streets that are so narrow, they would need to slide back and forth. The 8th Street, people are already instinctively parking far enough away so that the garbage truck can scoop them up for that. I think that what your concern is like 7th Street, where it's hard to get through on a good day when there's not a lot of parking. I think that's what we would be looking at. But I know that our garbage haulers are good at communicating that, and we will just ask Britt to continue to post on Facebook those changes as they occur.
Perfect, thank you. As long as garbage isn't affected. That's awesome.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Bachschnider. It has been moved and supported. Is there any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Councilor Johnson.
Thank you. Britt, I've had several requests from people about, as long as the contractors are there, can I have this part of my driveway or fixed at the same time with additional, who or how should we be handling that? Who should they be contacting? Because obviously the city's not going to pay for it, but if it's possible, what does that look like? And if you don't have an answer, I would wait until the committee of the whole meeting.
Get it for you, if that's okay?
Yes.
Usually we have them call the contractor and work that out amongst themselves as part of whatever they want to do.
Okay.
I'll get that information for you.
Would you please? Thank you.
Definitely.
And then my final thing is that May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And as always, I want to let folks know that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to have needs. It's okay to take some time for yourself. Occasionally, the best time to take time for yourself is when you don't think you have the time. Mental health is an important part of growing and learning. The schools are working really hard at training students and our scholars, as North Star calls them, to be aware of what they're feeling and how they're feeling. I know that, as I've said here many, many times, I am being treated for depression, which is never a fun thing, but also seeing a therapist regularly and allowing oneself to have those opportunities, make sure we're identifying the people in our lives who we need. I saw a study or something that said most people just need 8 minutes when things are going bad. My family and my friends have come up with basically a 911 that if I text or get a text from someone that says, "Do you have 8 minutes?" That is a key to me that this is serious and they want to talk to somebody. So every family can come up with their own little thing, but that's one action step that everybody can take with their family and friends to say, "Hey, I need you now. I'm not chatting about dinner. I need some mental health support." I am grateful that our city offers to our employees some amazing mental health support through our employee programs. I highly encourage folks to sign up for them and get logged into those long before you need them, because when you need them, they're amazing to have. I have used them personally, and I know several of our staff have. So May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Be aware of your mental health. We all have it. We all need to take care of ourselves just like the rest of our bodies. And that's the end of my report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Johnson. Before we adjourn, is there any other questions, comments from the council? Any other reports to be given? Britt, anything else?
No, I just want to say I'm thinking of everybody in White Lakes and to the east part of the area. Very scary times right now, and we're.
The Jenkins Creek Fire Area, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pam, anything? Jenny? Okay, thank you, everybody. No other items before come for the city council meeting this evening. We will stand adjourned to our next council meeting, which is Tuesday, May 27th, 2025, 5:30 PM here in the council chambers. Thank you, everybody, and have a safe evening. Good night. We are adjourned.